Think the music is the only thing rocking this station? Think again. We are bringing you the absolute best in live broadcasting all week long. Turn your dials to the Live the Dream Media Network for our powerhouse lineup of live podcasts airing Monday through Friday. Start your mornings right. Wake up every single Monday through Friday morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. with Wake Up Live, hosted by Christopher DeSimone. Stick around Mondays at 9 a.m. for the Marana and Oro Valley Experience with David Samorano and Clint Peak. Then at 10:30 a.m., it's time to get biblical with Truth and Tell, hosted by Blair Lametti Mathias.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Marana and Oro Valley Experience here from the Live the Dream Media Studios in sunny Marana, Arizona. I'm joined here today with Clint Peak.
Sunny. Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy back to school for everybody that is going back to school today. The Marana Unified School District's first day of school is today. So make sure to be paying attention on the roadways. I think that's one of the biggest things people talk about is pay attention to those buses, right? It's a new thing. You haven't seen them for a while. Traffic has been pretty light for the last couple months. You know, you get that, you're like, yeah, it's great. But it's dense again, and you got to be paying attention. Don't be looking at your phones. Obey the street signs.
Don't be doing that whether school's in or not. But
yeah, period.
But especially now.
Yeah. We got a lot of young lives who's we got to make sure everything's taken care of for them and make sure that they're safe. We got to keep the community safe.
You know, I'm going to jump the gun here a little bit. David and I were talking about something, but it's just something I'm going to play off of something you just said. Driving, come on, guys. When you're out there driving, pay attention. I could do a whole segment on drivers. It just seems to me like about 2/3 of the drivers are just not paying attention at all. And they're willing to take a chance. I don't want to get off on, but it's my wife over the years has said, you ought to do a whole show on it. Right? Mm-hmm. We should not be having the problems we do on our roads if people were paying attention, David.
Right.
39,000 people die on America's streets and highways every year, and I'll bet you $1 million, 95% of them could have been avoided.
Oh, absolutely.
Completely.
Absolutely.
Okay, there's my PSA for the day, but just pay attention. Especially now with school coming back. Our precious little kids are going to go back to school. And I want to do a shout out right now to our dear friend, Dr. Dan Streeter, and the entire staff over at Marana Unified School District. I'm excited for them to be back. And we were both sharing his post from yesterday. Mm-hmm. He's excited to be back.
Yeah.
And isn't that cool? The leader of your school's district. Is that excited to go back to school?
Yeah. He did a really good segment on Wake Up Live. I think it was a week or two ago. He talked about a lot of the gaps that they're working on filling at the district, which is really cool. He said it feels good to be in a place where they get to do that. Dr. Streeter also advised that he would be jumping on a show with us soon here once everything gets settled in. And, you know, that's another one of the great guests we have coming up this month. You know, I'm really excited to bring Brian White back, who is the owner and operator here, the Chick-fil-A right here at Ina and Thornydale. And he was on last year, and just an exciting guy, just a happy guy, but he's really in tune with how the organization works there and how they do things. And I feel like a lot of people have a really good experience there just in the customer service alone, on top of the food.
Best customer service maybe in the history of fast food.
Yeah. And if you want to go back and check that out, that episode is still available. You can go back on Spotify, look up Brian White. He talks about some of their hiring and different things in regards to that, which is really awesome. It was a really eye-opening experience. And, Augusto is going to be jumping on with us towards the end of the month. We've got a couple other guests we're working on confirmation. We're really going to start pushing this a lot more. And I do believe that we have a couple more shows we're going to be joining. Some of the flagship hours and different stuff like that. Again, we're in our second studio here, and I don't think we talk about it enough. That we just recently opened it a little earlier than we had anticipated, which is great. You know, it's always a great feeling when you get to do something a little bit earlier. And we've worked out a lot of the kinks in this area, and we're going to continue to just go, go, go. And it's really cool to talk about our network. You know, I was looking at our media kit this morning that's going out to our team, and the numbers are really, really impressive. And, you know, it's funny. I got to counter some stuff. You know, I know there's been an individual who's been in the legacy media buy situation for a long time. And, you know, there was speculation on numbers and different things. And we get the benefit of pulling the real data.
Yep.
The real numbers on all these platforms. You know, I've had a couple of people say, oh, the engagement. It's like, okay, so you got to understand something. We built that fuels this. There's a whole back-end online radio network that is live streaming 24/7.
With new shows being added.
New shows being added.
All the time.
All the time. And that feeds into all the streaming, right? So you have just an audio-only platform, which we're on right now, but we're also on live streaming video. And then after the show's over, the team cleans it up real quick and gets it in a post-production platform alone. So just the post-production stuff alone is at 40,000 a month streams. So that means folks, after the live streams are over, they're going on later and listening when it's convenient. Because you've heard some folks that are like, yeah, well, I listened to you about 12 p.m. Yeah. I started it right at the beginning of my lunch break. I listen all the way through. It's an hour show.
I listen to you guys on my ride home.
Right.
That's the advantage we have over, again, traditional radio or TV.
Yeah,
is we're really easy to access at any time of the day or night that you want us. And every piece that we've ever done, every podcast that we've ever done, every clip, everything is there. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the, you know, David's not, we're not ready to announce it yet, but David is kind of teasing you a little bit with, there's some really cool stuff coming down the pike really soon. Mm-hmm. I mean, you might see changes.
You will see changes.
Okay, well, again, I'm teasing you a little bit. Within hours in some of these things that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really exciting. And I got to give kudos. I was off camera before we started. I was giving kudos to our team. They're amazing. We are surrounded by a ton of amazing young people. But at the end of the day, David has built something, and I was just...
We.
Well, some of it was maybe I had an idea, but David physically, how about that?
Yeah.
David physically, with the team, built what you see. Mm-hmm. And I am so thankful and grateful for that, David, that I was just sharing it with Tammy this morning. My girlfriend of 35 years, for anyone who's not keeping score at home.
You know who I'm really thankful for?
What's that?
The Peaks, the team, but the listeners and the viewers.
Oh, 100%.
None of this exists.
We're just talking to ourselves
works.
in the back room if you guys weren't there. That number that he just mentioned, 40,000 after the fact, that's huge.
Yeah.
We don't. You know what? Without you guys, again, it's just you and I sitting back here in these low riding chairs. Talking to each other.
You're so against the chairs. So after the shows are live, they go to 13 plus podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, TuneIn, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Castbox, Deezer, and more. Not going to go through the rest of them, but there's a lot of platforms. So when you see this live, it then goes into those platforms, and those are those numbers that we're talking about.
Okay, David, how many platforms do we have access to? This is a mind-boggling number. You gave me a number the other day of what we have access to, as far as just total.
13 plus.
No, but I mean the other number you gave me that was way bigger.
Oh, you're talking about our ad platform.
Yeah.
So
think about this.
As an advertising agency,
with zero.
Yeah, we have
a couple of years ago.
We have access to 557 streaming apps, streaming TV apps, and also we have access to live sports now. So if you're looking to grow your business and target your specific audience,
500 plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know what's cool, folks? They came to us.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool.
Because I remember when they first started showing up, I'm like, what do they want with us? Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? They see what we're building and know that that's the future. If you've been paying attention over the last month, especially the last week, Legacy Radio is done.
I saw
I mean, they're just dropping like
I saw 2
flies.
cuts this weekend again. I've heard murmurs that iHeart's going to do another one. And Cumulus is
These are
gonna do another one.
huge radio stations. The mom and pops got bought up years ago, got consumed.
Well, you talked about something interesting this weekend. So believe it or not, we excuse me, we still talk a lot during the weekend, and there was a mention of how people have stopped. These radio stations have really stopped engaging with their community a lot. They're not engaging with the listeners. They're trying to keep the old material and the old way of doing things at a generation that just isn't buying it or isn't interested in it. The idea of the on-demand presence and being able to get in and out of something really quick, right? I think that's become a big deal. And when you
and not just radio, David, all hey, we don't care. I grew up listening to the radio. I grew up when TV was primarily black and white. I grew up when everybody read a newspaper, right?
Yeah.
I still consume those things in a different format, right? So this isn't a competition. This isn't sport for us. But when you see the evolution, and I've been there, think about it. I was born in the 50s, but I grew up in the 60s. I mean, everything happened on KMOX radio. WSIL TV, stuff like that, the Mount Vernon Register. There was at one point that I'd go to B&B Hobby Store, and I'd leave there with a bundle of newspapers under my arm, local, St. Louis, Southern Illinois, and Chicago Tribune, and I read them. And then USA Today came along and kind of homogenized that whole thing. Right, but there was still no real. They got away from the local. There was a time when WMIX radio, which doesn't exist anymore, would have all the birth announcements, the death announcements, marriages, divorces, police reports, not for better or worse, right?
Hey, have you ever read some of those? Those are interesting.
They
though.
were, they were actually very
somebody
interesting.
wanted to take time to bring that
But
back.
they were engaged, who was having a sale, different things that were going on in the community, sports related. They're just non-existent. That's wild. And the cool thing is you had this vision before I had it about what we could do digitally.
Yeah.
And you just jumped right in and just ran with it.
You got to take the opportunity of the mediums changing, right? I think there was a big, I guess you would say, I don't want to say the words, but this is how it is now, right? When Joe Rogan got involved the way he did a couple of years ago before the presidential election, Scott Galloway was mentioning how, over time there has been a medium that becomes a very relevant force in the civic cycle, the election cycle, things going on. And that was for sure a huge component relating to the election as far as the mediums that were very valuable at that time. And since then we have seen, mass restructuring of media companies because of that. Yeah. It was
at all levels.
At all
TV,
levels.
Radio, news.
Yeah. And it's not knocking the mediums.
No,
that's just where the people are now, right? They're in these new mediums. And even the car manufacturers are looking at ways to change just the whole setup of the
some of the newer vehicles do not have AM as an option. Bluetooth has taken over your console in your car.
And CarPlay through Android or through Apple, and then I'm not familiar with the Android system, but regarding that, I've been here fidgeting a little bit on camera. It was because we had a meeting with our development team scheduled for 8:30 and got pushed back a little bit, so I've been communicating with them. They're actually getting ready to deploy our online radio app on Apple CarPlay and the Android system. So pretty soon you're going to have a real, it's already awesome, but even more awesome listening experience in your vehicle wired into the Apple CarPlay and the Android car app thing, whatever it's called. So if you want to drop that in the chat, I have no idea what it's called. I'm not an Android guy. I'm going to be real with you. I can go on a whole rant.
He banned the host staff from having anything Android related.
The AirDrop, man.
The tyrant.
I could bring in, a ton of creators, and I guarantee you 80% plus are going to say, yeah, you got to run with the Apple products when it comes to a place like this. So, but
hey, a couple people I
Spit
want to
'em.
mention right now, and these are not people. These are people everybody's going to know. Last week it was the 38th anniversary of Rush Limbaugh taking to the airways. And then another person that made the news that came along at roughly the same time, totally different personalities, is Howard Stern. Those guys both changed conventional radio, for better or worse, forever, and then led to people like Joe Rogan being able to do what they do.
yeah, paying homage. That's cool.
Exactly. So, Mr. Limbaugh, Mr. Stern, who is now, he's in the news now. His show that went to Sirius Radio, XM Radio, is, I guess, on the ropes. He's down to 1 day a week, and people are leaving that show. But again, that's back to the legacy media. I mean, Howard probably, no, I'm not going to offer him any free advice, but he's made his bank. He's got his bag. Just
sail off into the sunset.
Sail off into the sunset, enjoy life. But those two guys, and with both of them, I was doing a little research over the weekend when it came up, and they were both in the news, one with an anniversary, one with the downsizing. They would have loved the format that you and I get the advantage of being in it, because they would have cut out all the middlemen. Mm-hmm. They were based on syndication. There was another guy named Don Imus. You remember Don Imus?
No, I have no idea who that is.
He was the poor man, Howard Stern. No offense to Don Imus, the late Don Imus. But
the Walmart version?
Yeah, and then he got in trouble towards the end of his life. He said things that were a little bit...
shocker.
Yeah.
Cancel culture.
You got to be so careful. You can be canceled in a heartbeat. Hey, speaking of some of what the future looks like here at Live the Dream Media, and again, we just celebrated our 5th year of doing this, which is pretty cool. So congratulations, David.
Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations. So here's 5 fully operational.
5 fully. We had a year
total.
run. David and I have been kicking this thing around for
That
more
first
than,
year
more
was
than 6 years.
The first year that we did that, and that 6, counting up to 6, that was the real mud. That was where we were wiring everything.
And you know what? I've told this story before, but David was still in law enforcement. He was working Sunday through Wednesday, and he'd come in here on his 2 days off, sometimes his third day off, and he would hang out in what is now Studio A. And I remember asking you later, what were you doing back there? And you were just getting
dirty,
getting a feel for the inventory, what we had. We had a lot of good gear that was being underutilized in a previous reincarnation of what we were doing. And but that's not where I was going. You're gonna see, for better or worse, hope this doesn't ruin your morning, but you're gonna see David and I more. That's part of the discussions that have been taking place. Is we are the face of this network. We do have things that we want to share with people. Some of it's going to be kind of tough. Might feel like we're getting on your toes a little bit, but most of it's going to be about growth, attitude,
AI,
a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I'm going to dig deep.
We're pretty excited about the next step, because now we've reached the point where we are a legit business. Is
that what happens when you hit the 5-year mark?
Yeah, we're a legit business. Because there was some mud in the beginning. Hey, and you know what? If you started a business and you're now 5 years old or 10 years old or 40
congratulations,
years
by the way.
Yeah, congratulations. You know there's mud. One of the best examples I love to give, because it's something I know a lot about, but the 3M Corporation started in 1901 as a sandpaper manufacturer, I might add. And it's the Minnesota Manufacturing and Mining Company, if anyone needs a reference on what 3M stands for. But it took them 20 years to actually. Amazon is another great example. Started selling books basically out of a closet 20 years, they were just churning and burning. Now look at them.
Yeah.
They've changed retail as a whole. We got retail stores. Again, this is for better or worse. We're not picking winners or losers. We're just stating the facts, right? Has changed the whole retail industry. I was talking to a good friend of ours the other day about a mall that sits here that's vacant. This one was vacant. There's a lot of vacant malls, storefronts. And the crazy thing is that's a 100+ year cycle because Montgomery Wards and Sears used to deliver to your front door. It might take 6 months, and they'd bring you a house.
Yeah.
There's homes still in existence today that were delivered to people's homes in a kit.
I dig the new build of them, though. That stuff the Bourne folks are doing over there.
Excited. Spent some time
It's a
with
density
Don and
build.
Kim the other day. The stuff that they're doing is beautiful.
So you build the density. You bring the folks first. Then the retail. As opposed to the old school way of building all the retail stuff and hoping the folks will
Well,
come.
now think about that, David, for a moment while you're there. That's a great point, great observation. That's the way it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
They built the homes, whatever city, the homes were there, and then they brought the grocery store in or the retail store came in.
But you're taking away the drive with these. You're
These are
literally
even
on
more.
top.
These are even more dense. Well, they
you're
did
not
that at
getting anywhere
Gilbert.
until you walk by something.
Talk about Gilbert. Your
Yeah.
experience with Gilbert. You saw that.
Very successful down there.
What'd they
with
do?
that density builds but they built parking lots
I was
first.
getting ready to say they built the parking lots first.
Free parking.
Free parking.
Have you been downtown recently?
Not.
You got to pay to do anything down there.
Here? Oh, absolutely.
It's crazy. Why, people aren't going to go down there no more. They're
It's
going to
just
go
a
here.
reverse of what should be happening.
Yeah. Well, when you have
But then again, that's what shows what happens when people reek of desperation. When there's no money in the coffers, what do?
$30 million in
We
debt.
try to start spending our way out of it when we should be doing the reverse. We should be, right?
yeah.
We should be selling our
shouldn't be
way out
laughing,
of it,
yeah.
not spending our way out of it. It's crazy.
Hey, we're going to jump to a quick sponsorship break. But before we do that, I kind of want to give a rundown of what we're going to talk about when we get back. It has been hot. I've got
Record
a
hot.
personal story to share with you about the heat. It has been like unbelievably hot here. It's nuts. It's back to school, okay? And then of course, I want to start this new thing I'm going to be doing pretty often on this show, and then our new programs that are going to be coming. Meme of the day, right? Just a good old laugh. Well, some of you will laugh, some of you will be like, oh man. But yeah, we're gonna start doing the meme of the day section. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after the sponsorship break. Appreciate you listening and viewing.
Our families deserve safe streets.
When you call 88 Crime, you stay anonymous, but your tip could protect someone's child, someone's home, maybe even your own.
One anonymous tip could stop a crime and you could get rewarded with cash.
88 Crime keeps our community safe and your identity secret.
Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community.
Call 88 Crime or visit 88crime.org because safety starts with you.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net. We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles. Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net.
You've got a voice, but are you ready for a global audience? Don't just settle for standard studio rental. At Live the Dream Media, we amplify your voice by broadcasting your podcast completely live on our exclusive online radio network. Whether they're down the street or across the world, your listeners can lock in live on YouTube, Meta, and the Live the Dream Media app. Why choose live? Because real-time connection builds a loyal community, extends your reach further than ever, and turns a simple recording into a massive digital event. Stop waiting on the edit. Go live, build your crowd, and live the dream with Live the Dream Media today.
All right, welcome back from that sponsorship break. Thank you for all those that are part of it. 88 Crime is a great tool. It's a great organization that I get to be part of. I'm the vice president of the board of directors and anonymous tip line. It helps bring a lot of closure to cases and a lot of stuff with our Southern Arizona law enforcement partners, so it's really great. I'm hoping to have James Allerton on here soon. He is the program coordinator. He works in collaboration with us and the Pima County Attorney's Office. And I think he would be able to give a lot more insight of kind of how that operates. I think people need to know that. I had a couple phone conversations last week with some of our listeners. I had posted something on Facebook about it, and they were like, whoa, what is this? You know, and it's obvious that we still have to do more work on the awareness of the program. You know, it's been around since the 1980s, and I'm looking forward to bringing James in on that. In regards to that, I sent something in Slack there, Tony. There's a flyer for an event coming up for 88 Crime. It's the Law Enforcement Appreciation Dinner. And I wanted to share this because this is the opportunity for 88 Crime and the Pima County Attorney's Office to show the support for law enforcement. You know, it's a very thankless job. There's a lot of stuff they do that, you know, people don't hear about, don't know about. Lives are being saved. And this event right here is our big event that we do every year. This year it's going to be at the El Conquistador over in Oro Valley. And
second year there, right?
It's our second year there. We had to move it, so we outgrew our first venue. Last year we had about 250 plus people at this event. So there's different sponsorships available. You know, I'm reaching out to the business community. You know, we're gonna sponsor this. We already have. And I'm looking for other sponsors to help out with this, to help us not only thank law enforcement officers for what they do, but it helps fund the 88 Crime program. The 88 Crime Incorporated program pays for rewards for tips and you know, events and different things and education. You know, this program goes way back. You know, you've heard of Taking a Bite Out of Crime. It's just a great event to go to. You know, you get to sit with law enforcement officers. You can buy, you know, regular tickets if you want to go and do that. But, you know, we're starting to make a push on it being more public, more of a public event mixed in with the law enforcement. And, you know, you get to hear great speakers. There's live auction, all kinds of fun stuff. So come and join us. You know, I get asked about the attire, and I said, you know, it's business casual to cowboy hat and whatever else you want to wear. So you'll see some folks in cowboy hats and whatnot. But if you want to be part of that event, you want to sponsor that event, it's September 26th. I highly encourage you to get involved with that.
This
and I'll see you there.
Us.
I'll be there.
We'll
at that
be
event.
there.
Yeah.
This is an easy one for you and I personally.
Yeah.
Easy one for the business, and it should be for members of our community, especially the businesses in our community. Although personal, individuals are encouraged to be a part of this as well. But this is a really, really easy one, and it's a cool event at a cool location.
Right. It is.
A lot of fun.
Well, thanks for putting that up, Tony. Okay, I want to move into this heat.
Let me talk real quick. Speaking of heat, I want to thank Jason Quirk down at Furrier's for bringing me some sparkling mineral water. You know, I've been jonesing for some Topo Chico, although I do have a few still left in my refrigerator.
Has the reserves ran out? Are they done for now?
No, I've got a few.
You got
a few Topos in my refrigerator. My son has been keeping me well stocked. Other people have been kind in bringing different bubbly water to me. I love the bubbly water. And so I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jason. This is good stuff. I think this is a Fry's product. And
it is, yeah.
And it's pretty good stuff. It's just white label, private label. sparkling mineral water. So I think it was $10 for a case. So get on down there.
That's
I
not-
drink it. I drink.
that
This is
Italian
my
spring
drink.
water
This
from
is
the
my drink.
mountains?
This is, well, I don't know if it's Italian or not. I've got some coming out of Mexico that's not Topo. That's pretty good as well. I mean, I only drink black coffee and sparkling
Do
water.
you save the bottles?
No.
Make like a big decoration.
Hey,
We
let me
should
tell
put
a
some on
story
the
on
shelf here,
myself.
though.
I'm gonna tell a story on myself. I haven't used alcohol in decades, but there was a time in my 20s that I drank a little, and I remember living in a house with 3 or 4 other guys. Big old nice house. I don't know how we managed that. I guess 4 or 5 guys paying the rent, and we got ready to move out. And bless my mom, rest her soul, she helped us move out. And we had a big, in the hallway, we had this huge, probably bookshelf, I guess you would call it, just a huge shelf, massive. It was 10 feet long and 8 feet tall, and it was massive. And we had saved basically every bottle ever consumed in that house. All the dead soldier
Look at
wall.
what we have done.
I don't recommend that, by the way, but that was 40-something years ago. You said that. I hadn't thought about that for years.
So we wanted to go swimming this weekend, and it was hot.
Oh, man.
Even our pool was toasty. So I checked it. It was 92 degrees in the water. And I went in and I'm like, this is bath. Yeah. This isn't really that enjoyable at all. So I got the bright idea. I did not incorporate any math. I didn't do any solution to this. I didn't think about how much I would need weight-wise or anything. So I go to the store to take care of some quick grocery stuff, and this is Friday afternoon, and I'm like, all right, I got this figured out. So I'm standing in line, checking out, and I go to the lady, hey, I need 2 of those 16-pound bags of ice right there. She's like, okay. So I go and grab these things. These suckers are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, so I got 32 pounds of ice. Get back home, unload.
And you're feeling pretty good about
I'm feeling
yourself.
pretty good.
Right? Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is gonna make it. This will do something, right? So I get the bag, cut it open, and I start dumping the ice into our pool.
Let me ask a question here.
Yeah.
Are your wife and kids paying attention at that point to what Dad's doing?
I sure hope
Are
not.
you like,
No, they weren't.
you're being the hero?
I was by myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I told my wife later that I bought 32 pounds of ice and put it into the pool.
I know what happened. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Me, myself, and I dump all this ice. I walk around, get the second bag, start dumping it through. When I'm on the second bag, literally, I walk 3 feet in the bag. The ice from the first bag is already gone. It's already melted.
Yeah.
Just not even there.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, well, maybe this one. And I do it. Give it some time. I have my pool, the pool, what do you call it? The skimmer.
Yeah.
I'm skimming, mixing stuff around, trying to mix the water around. I get in it. Like, this is going to be nicer. 1 degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if my math is right, every 32 pounds, every 32 pounds of
a ton. Give me 40 bags.
And I don't have a deep, like, our pool's not very deep, and that's probably why it's so hot. It's only, it's one of those, like, play pools where you got, it's like 5.5 feet deep.
Pool, but
yeah. But, so 32
because
pounds.
when you say play pool, that sounds like there might be some plastic and some blow up and air.
Oh, no, it's an
mixing it.
in-ground,
It's
yeah.
a real in-ground.
But it only got us a degree. And didn't really accomplish what I was hoping to. So,
But at
so
least you did it with no audience.
If you're thinking about putting ice in your pool, I'd get like a pallet or so. At least do 100 pounds because you might get, because personally, there's a debate on the perfect water temperature for the pool, but I really like the low 80s.
I was going to say 80, 85.
I'll even go in at 78,
Okay.
78 degrees. We noticed, thanks to a friend of ours named Jeff, we went to a pool, and then we went to 2 different pools with him, and we noticed that both of these pools were at 84 degrees.
Sounds about perfect, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I guess that's the go-to temperature for most people, for most resorts. That was at the La Paloma, and then some other place we went to that was like a big HOA
But not
pool.
92
No,
or
that's
91 with ice floating around.
It's hard to
cubes.
enjoy. It really is hard to enjoy. So
Hey, at least you didn't have the wife and kids and neighbors gathered around while you're
Yeah.
in your cape, being super dad.
Yeah. So there is some relief on the way. Part of our rundown is talking about the weather. There is a flood watch here today out of nowhere.
There is a little rain in the forecast today.
There is, and some cooler
But guys,
temperatures.
here's the deal. Going in, I've been here. I got here the same year you were born.
Mm-hmm.
My first experience in Arizona was 1989. If I remember correctly, that's the year you were born.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct. First day of that year.
Yeah. So I've been here, 37 years, and it's just hot from June till Halloween.
That's a great pool season.
Hey, Craig said something yesterday about it's hard to preach about heaven in the 8 months that it's perfect here. But it's hard to preach about hell in the summer when it's hell here.
That's good stuff.
Little reference. But
Yeah.
that's just the reality. It's super hot. I was here the day, I was in Casa Grande the day that it was 121 or 22, whatever the day it was. And I remember stepping out of my vehicle going, oh, this is crazy.
Did you see we had a pretty cool July, though?
Yeah, we did.
It was just in the
Well,
90s.
now we're having record temperature in August. So
Yeah.
you're going to catch it one way or another.
Yeah, can't avoid it.
It's going to happen. We didn't, and June is typically the hottest month of the year. Not as much. We're going to make up for it in August. It's just the reality of it. 135 days of summer in the desert, and get ready for it.
Yeah.
And we're not quite halfway through. So
Yeah.
if you live in Arizona, and especially southern Arizona, I hate to tell you.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, it's going to be 100 plus for pretty much the next 60 days.
Okay, so let's move into this meme of the day. All right, this is the one that got me here. What sucked as a child but is awesome as an adult? Ask yourself that. What sucked as a child but is awesome as an adult? This meme from a guy on God, I don't know how to say that name, Chowdhury, being left out of things.
Amen.
It couldn't be more true. What sucked as a child but is awesome as an adult, being left out of things.
Yep. Oh, and the older
Total
you get,
switch up.
and the older you get, I'm telling you, being left out's really good.
Because you get to this.
There's no expectation from you at that point,
Right.
because you're not invited.
Entering the parenting world, this could not be more true. There are so many weekends that you have to sit there and defend them. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not doing it, setting a boundary, not going to it.
Every weekend,
It's the birthdays. Everybody's
from
got a
0 to about
Yeah.
16 when they can drive themselves. You're right.
Yeah.
And that's a great choice of words. I hadn't thought about that. Well, you got to defend your weekends.
Yeah. I know some people that they do something every weekend, and I start sweating just thinking about that. Like there's nothing more than I enjoy than, and I'm not saying just be a homebody,
No.
right? I mean spending time with your family, your kids, just that core, right?
Dude,
That
I'm
core
telling
group.
you, when our kids were, fortunately, my wife gets it, at least did. Well, at one point, I'm just like, no. Now, we were both working 60, 80 hour, 100 hour weeks, but she always wanted to do something with the kids, which is great. Our kids thank us now about how amazing their childhood was, right? But sometimes enough is enough. Do we have to go somewhere every Saturday and Sunday? If I could just get one day, right?
Point proven on the meme. So
boy.
there is your meme of the day. If we can get an
just
applause
leave
for
me
that
alone.
one, Tony. Thank you, Honeymoon 250, for the awesome meme that's there.
Hey, let me jump on something real fast.
Yes.
Guess what I want to talk about? Just real
Okay,
quick.
well, I was gonna prompt you for it, but I'm sure
Go
it's
ahead,
about
prompt me.
I'm sure it's about
Prompt
baseball.
me.
What's
Prompt
going
me.
on with baseball?
Come
Clint?
on, man.
Hey, should we name the league instead of MLB? We do it the Dodgers League of Baseball, DLB. How jump into
Okay,
it?
I'm
novice.
I'm going to back. No, I don't think so. Because here's the reality of it. it's kind of always been. I'm not banging on the Dodgers, and I'll tell you why. Everybody had the opportunity to do what they've done. They've gotten real clever.
The deferred payment system. That's pretty.
I put a list out yesterday of all these. There's going to be guys getting paid for the next 20 plus years. And this is not, there's nothing new about this. Bobby Bonilla.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby. I forget when it was, but he's been getting paid from the Mets a deferred payment that was only $5 million, by the way, if I remember correctly, 20-something years ago. And they said, rather than pay you that, let's give you $1 million a year. It's a little more than, but $1 million a year for the next 30 years. And he agreed to it. Of course he agreed to it. So he took a $5 million payment and turned it into a $30 million payment over 30 years, 30 plus. It's smart. What they did, what the Dodgers did with Ohtani, smart. There's not a GM out there that they just didn't think about it, I guess, that wouldn't have done that if they'd have thought about it in retrospect. There's no, so I'm not going to bang on the Dodgers because the Yankees did it long before the Dodgers did it. And the Dodgers and Yankees have been doing it for years. Here's my problem with all of it is, first off, there's just insane amounts of money in this for the owners, for the players. The only guys really going to get hurt by this is the low-end guys, the young guys that don't have the big contracts. They're not going to get a paycheck. I think I would bet money we miss at least half of the season.
Why?
Well, the owners for the first time maybe in forever, and I've been a baseball fan for over 60 years. I mean, I remember, getting turned on to baseball in the 60s, so we're talking 60 years. As a kid, I didn't understand the economics of it, but the owners the fans are supporting the owners on this one for the first time ever. Always before it was I'm not going to say everybody is. I am. I don't want to see them. I don't want to get. Look, it's a free market system. Get what you can get. I have no problem with these. I think it's kind of insane because the fans pay for these salaries, and that's unfortunate. And kids are getting priced out. You can't go to a ball game now, a typical family, and sit in the nosebleed, the last row, for less than $150. Probably $200 if you count parking. That's nuts. In fact, if I'm king for the day, kids get in free. You're under 12, you can just sit anywhere you want, with an adult ticket for free. But it's just gotten, and here's the irony is this kid that got traded to the Dodgers, Scoble, he's on the 8-man negotiating team for the union. He's going to sit across from these owners in December and plead his case. Well, he's Exhibit A on what's wrong. So here's what you have. You got the upper echelon, Dodgers, Yankees, the Cubs, that have the capability of spending millions and millions and millions. The Dodgers, to pick on the Dodgers for a minute, their tax, the overage, is $170 million this year. That's more than 8 teams' total salary. That's just their tax. That's just their penalty.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. So they're going to get taxed $170 million. The Yankees are going to get taxed. The Phillies are going to get taxed. The Cubs usually stay under that threshold, much to my chagrin. But the welfare teams then create the opposite problem. So they're getting this money from baseball, and they're not spending it. They're putting it in their wallet. So here's the secondary. So you got a cap that we need some sort of a cap. And I don't have a problem with make whatever you can. Mm-hmm. I'm a free market guy. We're going to start talking about that in future episodes. Free markets. But the floor has to be in place. If you're not trying to win, if you're a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, right? What do you got to look forward to? They haven't won since 79 with Willie Stargell. They used to be pretty good, actually. That's back when there was kind of an even playing field, right? So you got to have a floor and you got to have a ceiling to start solving this problem. If you're not trying to win, I'm not saying we realize you can't win every year. That's unless you're the Yankees, and right. You sell the team. If you're not trying to win and you're a professional baseball owner, then sell the team to somebody that wants to win. And let's try to create. I don't want parity. That's. But we got to get rid of the haves and the have-nots to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to lose a lot of baseball next year. I wouldn't be shocked if we lost the whole thing. Now we're going back to 95. We didn't have a World Series. No. 94. Wasn't 95. The Braves won that year. And this is a shout out to Sean McClellan, with the best pitching staff in the modern era, because he's a big Dodger fan. I saw him yesterday. He's okay, Sean.
Yeah.
But right now, just for the record, I'll go on record. I don't think the Dodgers, even with this crazy loaded roster that they have, I don't think they're going to do a three-peat, which would be the first time in, 1930s that a National League team had a three-peat.
Why not?
Baseball is just funny that way. I'd bet on the field rather than the Dodgers right now if anybody wants to take me up on it.
Okay.
Well, that's 9 other teams have an option, so I'll take 9 over 1. It's just like football. If you get hot at the right time,
yeah,
you can win. Football's a little bit different because, baseball and football there's a lot of things you can't compare. But baseball, you get because the St. Louis Cardinals a few years ago, and this pains me to say it as a Cub fan, but they finished like 1-2 games over 500 in the regular season, but they got hot at the right time, and they won the World Series. I think that was 11. I could be wrong about that.
You see that in the NFL too. You see a wild card team
you get
barely get in,
yeah,
and then they just click.
How many times have you seen that?
A lot.
That a team just barely snuck in, but they're playing for their playoff life at that point. And you got a lot of teams kind of coasting, and it's hard. I've seen it at all levels, by the way.
I've seen that first round bye end a lot of seasons. I mean, personally.
Because there's just not that, and that people that are just struggling to get in like on the last day, sometimes they just catch fire and just march through the season. So thank you for letting me get that off my chest a little bit. It's sad to say as a fan that we're at this point that we got billionaires and millionaires. That's always the statement from the fans, that we got millionaires and billionaires fighting over a few bucks, but there's more to this one than that.
Yeah.
Because we start the season, every season, with half the league, there's no chance they're going to win. And we have, over the last several years, Colorado Rockies, Chicago White Sox, who have kind of recovered a little bit. We're setting records for
losing streaks,
losing seasons, just inept.
Yeah. And that comes down to the monetary issues.
It 100% comes down to the monetary issue. Yeah. They're just not willing to. Now, hey, if you can't win, retool. I get that.
But I mean, acquiring talent is going to take.
You
a
should
couple
be
bucks.
stocking your farm system up. Go back. One of my friends mentioned this yesterday, Brand Cherokee, and he was with the Dodgers, coincidentally enough. You keep working on that. You keep working on that farm system, and you get the talent at the lower levels to either develop into professional big league players, or you can use some of that farm system talent to trade for key pieces.
Is that even happening these days?
Well,
is that still in existence?
Well, the Cubs did it a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
That actually led to their championship season 10 years ago. But they had to tank to do it. So there is that. Now, the difference is the Cubs weren't taking any welfare money. They were just depleting their system of aging veterans that were no longer viable and giving them the opportunity to go play on a winning team, but they just started all, basically in the early, 2012, they just started all over.
Yeah. So, okay, we got 5 minutes left. So, how does Major League Baseball fix this?
This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one because the Major League Baseball union, for better or worse, is the toughest. I'd say it's the hardest. It may be stronger than the teachers union. And that's saying a lot. These guys don't lose. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough fix. And that's why I think the lockout, because this isn't going on strike. This is the owners locking them out. Big difference, too. That's not just semantics. The owners, no one's gone on record of saying it, but a lot of these owners are, because they don't, I know a couple big league baseball owners. Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool. I know them personally. These are people that I actually have their phone numbers in my phone. I haven't talked to them recently for a quote. Maybe I'll get them on. Mm-hmm. But they can set out. They can set this thing out. They can outlast the players for sure financially if they chose to. I don't think they will. But they can play that long game card for sure. And again, a lot of we hear about all the big salaries, Ohtani's and all that. And for the record, that's the slickest big league contract in the history of sports.
But should it be allowed?
There should be
guardrails.
There should be That's a great choice of words, guardrails, because Ohtani signed a $700 million contract
over how many years?
Over 10 years, but he's only getting $2 million per year. And the Dodgers, again, this is a slick business move. I learned we use this kind of in the back of our minds when we're talking. The Dodgers have already earned with him in a Dodger uniform. Mm-hmm. They've already earned enough money to pay him. Mm-hmm. But they'll put that, what? So it's 20. So $680 million is somewhere drawing interest and making money that will pay him. They'll pay him off the interest of what he's already earned the team. How brilliant is that? And every other 29 teams in the league have that option available to them.
Yeah. So is that a combination, right? Like, so you think of a team that struggles. Mm-hmm. Like, if they were to think of that, do the Rockies or somebody like that even get that deal with him?
Nah.
Because of name?
Well, it's L.A. L.A. and New York.
So just because of the market,
would trump that. Yeah,
there's a lot of problems, man.
Yeah.
Like so if you're in the players union, you ask that question.
Yeah.
Is that even a possibility?
Yeah.
Like, it's because you look at the NFL. The NFL, you don't really see that. You see teams that come out of nowhere.
Exactly.
You're like, oh well, they pieced together a lot of great stuff on the offseason. They got some rookies that were some of them were not even drafted, and you hear about these guys, and you're like, what's going on here? And you see a very good competitive field. I love nothing more than when we start hitting late October, November, and you see these teams that have just had a bad couple of years and they're on fire.
Oh, on fire. But now I'm gonna say something to you.
Yeah.
That kind of counters that a little bit with Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Here's a fact. We've had more winners in baseball spread out over in the 21st century. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is more diversity with winners in the 21st century in baseball than any other professional sport, which kind of flies in the face of what you're saying. That's just a fact.
Condense the seasons and then say that.
I don't want that to happen. I love the 62. They've talked about that.
Well, I know. I'm just saying my counter to that is if you condensed your seasons, I think it would be a completely different outcome.
Well, I think it would too.
Because the cool thing about baseball, which I really love, is all the variables that come into play on the strength of the whole team.
162 games.
Yeah.
That's twice as many as the NBA plays. Mm-hmm. 10 times as many as, the NFL's now, to 17 games?
17 games, yeah.
But still close to 10 times per. That's why baseball is, for me, is such a great game. You got to play every day. You got to play every day. You got to play hurt. The Cubs this year have just suffered. Their starting staff has been decimated. Got the best offense in baseball. Got the best defense in baseball. Not even close, by the way, on the defense. And we've lost basically our entire roster.
So you have a whole new team out there
on the pitching side. We got guys out for the season. We got guys out for season. We got guys for 2 seasons, and it's starters, it's relievers, it's middle guys. They've had to kudos to Craig Council for piecing that thing together. I mean, it's been crazy. I've never, of course, I don't follow every team as close as I do the Cubs, so maybe it's happened, but I've never seen a major league team in all the years I've been watching this suffer that much injury to a pitching staff.
Wow.
It's been crazy. Thanks for letting me get that off my. Hey, I love baseball. I love spring training. I love going. Matter of fact, a dear friend of mine, he and I have been kind of plotting this thing where we're going to start visiting all the major league stadiums in the United States. We were putting together a plan to. We're not trying to do this in 1 year, by the way. Putting a plan together for 27. And I told him the other day we were having coffee, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably not going to happen in 27. So
yeah,
we get a year to plan that.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on the Marana and Oro Valley Experience today. Looking forward to our guests that are coming up here. You know, we got through the summer. A lot of people have been on vacations. We've covered a lot of content in different realms, but we're really going to get really focused on the hyper-local stuff on this show now that everybody's back in action. So we will see you soon. I'll see you next Monday. Be kind to each other, as Clint Peak would say.
Be kind. It's
Stay
not that
cool.
hard.
Don't go into flooded roads. And school just started, so you should be paying attention, but really pay attention to the crosswalks and everything else going on, school buses.
Hey, and one final note. Dumping 30 pounds of ice in your pool is not going to cool it down.
No, you're going to need another 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah,
So depending on your pool size, but don't take it from me. I don't know what I'm doing on that.